And this is how you take delivery of a Rezvani tank.
Good afternoon, guys. This is definitely a bit of a different video in a great way. So we have the CEO of the company, Rezvani. Well, social distance. Dude, great to have you here. I'm so impressed with this vehicle. It is unbelievable. I want to say 2 years ago, they gave me the opportunity to drive the Rezvani tank around and actually take a rifle and shoot at it to prove that the vehicle was bulletproof. I had never filmed a video like that. I was very appreciative that we were able to do something like that. And just the vehicle alone was so impressive. Now, 2 years later, they turned it up so many notches, I just was overwhelmed. When this car came off the flatbed, I've never actually been so impressed by the plethora of features it had. I was like, is there any more? Because you just named so many cool features. I'd buy it for that feature and that feature and that feature, and apparently it has all of them in one. So go ahead, it's your creation. I'm like impressed for you because this is amazing. I'm sure you're passionate about it. So share what you've created with my audience, who hopefully most of you are familiar, but for those who aren't, what is the Rezvani tank and why is it so cool?
So the Rezvani tank is the ultimate survival apocalypse vehicle. It's military inspired. It has some of the most advanced military inspired features, on any car on the planet. It's entirely bulletproof. So wheels, tires, body armor, all bulletproof using a laminate type technology that absorbs the bullet. Other things that it has is a thermal night vision system. So it's got,
of course it does.
It detects heat signatures. Radiator protection, strobe lights and sirens, and intercom system. Steel bumper, essentially for ramming through things.
I'm laughing because it's so impressive, and it's so, guys, I spent my hard-earned money on the Cullinan only to find out that this starts at $259,000. Is that correct? For the military edition. That's
Correct.
the extreme. It starts at $155 for the non-military edition. And even as spec'd with everything, including but not limited to gas masks, like EMP protection, spike strips. We'll talk about all of it. It costs less than my Cullinan, and I'm a little bit sad about it because had I known about this, and hopefully you guys know now, I would have gotten this instead of a Cullinan. That's for dang sure. So tell us the features that basically sold me in my driveway on the car when you delivered it. I mean, ours already sold, clearly. It showed up here, but now I'm like, how many more can I buy for me and my friends and my family? I mean, I would want my mom to drive this for safety during this period of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And we've gotten a lot of requests for that. So under the hood, we have a 1,000 horsepower Demon engine. So it comes from the Dodge Demon. It's a 6.2 liter supercharged, 1,000 horsepower, 800 foot-pounds of torque.
1,000 horsepower. Not much to hate about that.
Up on top, we have essentially blinding lights.
Yep.
They can blind anyone in front. Military grade run flat tires. It's got EMP protection, which is electromagnetic pulse protection. So it's one of the first cars in the world. Essentially, it can absorb 100,000 amps of electricity 40 times. And EMP is essentially
100,000 amps?
Correct. So the electrical system, essentially, it's a very powerful surge protector that can, and EMPs are generated through either a nuclear strike or weapons as well. It fries electronics, essentially.
Yeah.
So it within hundreds of millions of a second, it kicks in and absorbs that amount of power.
Wow.
The other things it has is tax. You can deploy tax, smoke screen to lose trackers. It has blinding lights front and rear.
Guys, I'm just thinking internally because it's so impressive. My brain's racing of what you can and can't do with this vehicle. The answer is there's nothing you can't do. I'm positive. It doesn't quite fly to Mars yet, but I don't know your future plans. It probably does that too. I wouldn't be surprised if for an extra 500 grand, you can just go and become a Mars rover. But what you can do is literally, you could be the ultimate Mario Kart vehicle. You want to throw the turtle shells? No, we got spike strips. You want to put oil slick? That's probably a possibility, but you could do a smoke screen so it doesn't leave products on the ground. If there's some sort of apocalypse, like the EMP, there's basically an EMP electric shock in Mario Kart where you get zapped. This prevents that. I mean, 40,000 amps is enough to kill you and every single person around you, times a lot. And this protects you from literally a weapon of warfare where somebody uses an EMP, which Call of Duty fans, I'm sure you've heard of an EMP. It can shut down nuclear test facilities. It can shut down a city, and the whole city shut down. All the nuclear reactors are shut down, and you're in your Rezvani listening to music.
Yep, and it has also an electrified door handles as well, which you can essentially use to deter anyone accessing, touching the door handles.
So would I have accidentally shocked myself if I touched it wrong, or how do you activate that? Because now I'm scared to open the vehicle.
It has been used as pranks before, but yes, if you activate it, yes, you will get shocked.
Well, don't prank me, please. I'm pretty confident in how intense your vehicle is, and that would be a prank I don't want to experience at all. Yeah, it's the Rezvani prank. You may die, but you may not. So you can activate it and unactivate it.
Correct.
Obviously.
Yes, when you're inside the vehicle. And also, in addition to that, you have magnetic deadbolts, which are magnetically operated and lock the doors in place for safety.
Oh my God. I mean, it's like you think of worst case scenarios. That's why you're saying apocalypse vehicle. A lot of people during this period of time, I mean, my brain runs and I get creative, which can be good and bad. When the stuff initially hit and we had stay-at-home orders, I thought, well, eventually it's possible that everyone runs out of money, and when everyone runs out of money, they need food and water to survive. People will steal, and I thought about that 4 months ago, and unfortunately, that's starting to happen for obviously other reasons, but at the end of the day, it's still happening. Mm-hmm. You think of scenarios where you're in the wrong neighborhood and your car breaks down, or you're in the wrong neighborhood and some type of protest is going that's violent and not productive. You are in the cocoon of safety that I've never seen anything like this. I mean, you have Tank as the last name. It's literally a tank, except well, you can buy a tank on Craigslist. Don't ask me how I know. This you can drive on the streets of California, where you can't drive tanks on the streets in California, it turns out, which is a huge bummer. But it's not an offensive vehicle like a tank that has a giant gun that shoots and kills. This is the most defensive vehicle I've ever seen that you can buy for a reasonable price, like silly reasonable. So I'm impressed with this car, not just for what it does, but the fact that you can get one for 155 grand, or you can spend 400,000 to get everything, including, when you see the interior, and this isn't even their latest and greatest interior, it has a Starlight headliner. I paid $430,000 and they told me the Starlight's not available yet. That's a bummer. I don't like that. So as you can tell, this is the longest clip I have ever had in one part of a vehicle. Normally things are boring, right? You want to mix it up, but it's not boring when you're learning about a 1,000 horsepower Demon engine, an EMP and spike strips and strobe lights and a light up Rezvani logo. Like, that's cool, Rolls-Royce, that you got a light up Spirit of Ecstasy, but look how many lights we've got here, a camera, a ramming bar. Like, what? Okay, we'll go to the side because it's limitless, the options here. I probably don't even know what he's about to say, and I love that. Some highlights stylistically that I've picked up on are, one, the wheels, short of having treads, which could be like an interesting option that combine the wheels, look like they're from a tank. You were saying these are bulletproof?
Yeah, these are bulletproof wheels and tires. In fact, we have a new option where we have a cover on the wheel and that can be used as a bulletproof shield.
You have a what?
Essentially, yeah.
You have a cover on the wheels. I'm just reiterating this for you guys. There's a cover on the wheels that can be used as a shield. As there's an American flag, this is Captain America in a vehicle. So if you want to be Captain America and you don't have any superhero powers, which you probably don't, I don't, here you go. Just buy a Rezvani tank and you become Captain America. This is Parker 2020. I approve this message. That's amazing. And then one, awesome organic integration of your logo. I mean, a lot of people don't know what they're looking at. Nobody knows what the Rolls-Royce Cullinan is because it doesn't say Cullinan on the car. It just says Rolls-Royce. Well, because this brand is newer, you might literally think that the military, especially in today's day and age, that this is the National Guard coming to end all problems. But no, it doesn't say National Guard. It says Rezvani, which, props on your last name. I don't even pick it, but it's pretty cool. It's a cool brand. I love this. American flag, tank. I mean, look, talk about flying buttresses in Ford GTs. Well, we got a flying buttress in a bulletproof car. And then what's really cool, and I'm sure all the female subscribers will enjoy this, if you're going shopping or you're going out to dinner on a date, or I take my mom somewhere in this car, or you have to escape from peril immediately. When you open the, I'm not gonna. I literally just got scared.
No,
I'm good to go. Okay. I love it. I was like, that's the end. Parker dies on camera from an electric shock handle. That folds down, and unlike an Escalade where it folds down way too slow, that rips down. I like the way the 4-bar linkage works, engineer nerds. You can just literally open the door and, oh, well, it's already down. That's so convenient. But you saw how fast it moved, and you just hop right in. If you're wearing heels, it's thin enough to where the heel, of your brand new Louboutins, you can just hop right in without breaking them. And then having to take a second trip to the mall, which obviously would be no problem with this car. But literally, watch. Yeah, so don't mess with me. Anyhow, well, you don't even need to be a strong person or a scary person. You could be the Queen of England and just go right in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Queen of England. Get one.
And so all the side is also steel. It's essentially a type of ballistic steel for protection.
Okay. And then what rating do they have? I imagine they have bulletproof ratings. So like, what caliber of gun can be shot at this, and you be okay?
Yeah. So this AK-47. AR-15, AK-47.
So yeah, if somebody has a modded, extended clip, fully automatic AK-47 or AR, you literally hop in this and you're like, deuces, I don't even have to shoot back. I got a Rezvani tank. That's gangster. You don't even have to shoot back. You got a Rezvani tank. End of discussion. Now, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you knock on the window, you're like, you think it's a normal car and you're trying to get the attention of, let's say you're a celebrity and you're like, hey, hey, and then they just break their hand on the bulletproof glass. Because, yeah, glass when it's this thick it hits different. Let's go to the back of the vehicle and then we'll go to the interior. Guys, it's like, the interior is amazing. The driving experience is amazing, but the whole car is amazing. So I can't wait to share how long this review is because I can't stop talking about it. So for more of you Call of Duty fans who love the phrase flashbang through the door or frag out, this car basically is like that, but reverse, because it's not an offensive vehicle, it's a defensive vehicle, but it can be deadly in the right scenarios with the electric shocking handles. Something that I think is so cool, and something, if you didn't know you wanted this, which you probably didn't, I didn't know this was an option on a car, now you're gonna want it. So if I open this up, by the way, I mean, once again, design language is awesome, flashing lights, bulletproof, just manly. When we open this up, we're gonna demonstrate this manually. We've got an actuator down below the car where if you click it, spike strips go on the ground. I mean, I was about to laugh because it's hilariously awesome, but at the same time when I said spike strips, I wanted to be serious, but it's not working so well for me. Look at this. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is literally sharpened shrapnel that can go through, it can puncture SUV tires and everything. If it can go through an SUV tire, it can, yeah, that'd be bad. But what other elements in the rear of the car do we have? I mean, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen, so yeah. You don't have to explain anything more, but if you want to.
Absolutely. So we've got a very powerful blinding light also in the back here, and you can see this light bar here.
Yeah.
So anybody following you at night, you can flip on the blinding lights and they won't be able to see anything. Smoke screen also comes out the back as well. And
smoke screen comes up. That was so casual. It's like somewhere between spike strips and blinding light. You just fit in smoke screen just casually. I mean, I don't own a truck. I guess you could call it a truck. It's not a truck. But all the diesel truck guys that I know, they want ambient lights for two reasons. One, for illumination when they're off-roading, and two, to blind people. I mean, if you have money and you know that this one's 10,000 lumens, well, you want the one that's way more intense so that when your friends are behind you, you're like, you hit the train horn and then you hit that, and then, your friend's like, God damn it, not again. But this, for a safety standpoint, not a joke. I mean, you could be blinded by light, smoke, and then if you're really in trouble, spike strips. I mean, you don't even have to lay spike strips down. You ever seen cop chases where they lay them down and they totally miss? No one is anticipating a vehicle They're chasing after them to release smoke and spike strips at the same time. I've never seen that.
Yeah, absolutely. And for some of our clients that want a B7 level armor, which is even a higher level armor, we put a steel partition back here with steel and much thicker.
And so what does level 7 entail?
Level 7 is essentially presidential class. It's not. It's not what the U.S. president has, but it's a lot of foreign presidencies have level 7, which is even above AK-47 level protection.
Armor-piercing rounds. See you later. We got level 7. I don't know what level 7 is, but it sounds really intense. That's amazing. And then he was saying also, I asked about the underside of the car, because obviously if the sides are protected, you never know about the top and the bottom of the car. Yeah, a frag grenade doesn't do anything to this. So if you've got a frag grenade randomly, it's a waste. You just put it back in your pocket.
Yeah, and then the fuel tank is also self-sealing as well. So essentially, it's surrounded by vulcanized rubber, which is essentially natural rubber. When it comes into contact with fuel, it expands and fills any holes that are present in the fuel tank.
All right, so that's just the outside. So how about we take this for a drive now and show you the inside while we're driving it, because no, this is not a stationary object that you sit in on your lawn. It's got 1,000 horsepower, and it's really freaking cool, and the interior rocks.